Greetings from the far side of the galaxy. I'm Furry, your host, the most who's playing that new Pokemon game. So of course, you're getting a new video about Pokemon. Today, we'll be ranking Pokemon by how furry they are. And I'm not even going to pretend that I have some objective reasoning for this, and I'm not going by vibe, so let's just get started. Let's get started with the Pokemon we all knew was going to be on this list. That being Incineroar. And yeah, this isn't a Pokemon, this is just a dude in a fursuit. Like, if you went to any furry convention, I'm pretty sure you'd see this exact dude at least like 3 times. Just look at this thing. This isn't a Pokemon. This is a dude with a job and a 401k. This is not a Pokemon. We're putting him in the that's not a Pokemon, that's just a fursuit tier. And don't even give me any crap about his belt or whatever, that's just some light up LEDs. And since we are talking shit about popular Pokemon, I might as well mention Gardevoir. This one is not actually a furry in the slightest, mostly because it's not an animal, it's a plant. Oh wait, I'm actually pretty sure it's a grass type, hang on. Okay, so apparently it's not even a grass type at all, it's a fairy psychic, and that knowledge gives me the same feeling as knowing Sylveon has like flesh ribbons or whatever, so I'm just going to erase it from my memory and move on. Let's talk about an old favorite of mine that was left out of the new game because Game Freak hates all things that are good and wholesome. Electabuzz, a genuinely very solid furry design. It's got 4 arms, 4 legs, kinda human shaped, but also fairly unrealistic with a whole yellow lightning theme. My only issue with the design doesn't even have to do with it being furry or not, it's the fact that it loses the awesome head plug from its previous form. What Pokemon am I supposed to use as a Soccer Protector now? Here's to our first true blue furry. For the next Pokemon, I guess we'll just have to do Ursaring, because it's the first thing that showed up on this generator I'm using. Ursaring really brings up a really good question. What's the line between furry and like a regular animal? Or, oh no, actually here's an even better question. What's the line between a Pokemon and a regular animal? Because like, yeah, it stands up on 2 legs, but then again, this is a bear. They can just do that. And the rest of its design isn't even particularly unrealistic, like it's just brown and kinda yellow, which yet again is just like a regular bear. We're not gonna list this guy as a furry, certainly not as a scaly, so we're just gonna put him in this new tier I'm gonna call Animally. Is that name terrible? Yeah. Are we sticking with it? Yeah. The next Pokemon this generator gave me is Aegislash, which is clearly not a furry, scaly, or even an Animally. That's just a thingy. I could go to a museum and find that right now. The next Pokemon I'll be talking about will be Swampert. You know what? This is honestly a very good furry Pokemon design. Though, to be fair, it doesn't really have fur because it's like an amphibian or whatever, but you know what? That isn't important. He's all anthro with arms and legs and stuff, and even gets all uber super muscular with his Mega Evolution. Let's be real here, this is a fairly well designed fursona I've seen on Fur Affinity somewhere. Swampert is just a straight up furry. The next Pokemon the generator gave me was Inteleon, and yeah, that's just a twink in a fursuit. Well, I suppose it'd just be a twink in a scale suit actually. Not gonna bother making a new category for that though. And I'm speaking about personal feelings here, but I just have never liked this design. Its smug aura mocks me. Generating a new Pokemon with the generator, and it's Scyther. Scyther is such a hard Pokemon to rate, specifically because it's an actual bug. It doesn't have scales, it doesn't have fur. I could do the same thing I did with the amphibian and just put it on the list as a furry even though it doesn't actually have fur. Actually, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Mostly because it's my video and I can do whatever I want, and secondly, because I really like its design. Arm swords are neat. The generator gave me Fennekin, so I might as well do the entire Pokemon line because why not? First up, the aforementioned Fennekin. That's not even a Pokemon, that is literally just a regular ass fox. It boggles my mind that this is Fennekin's first form, but its second form, Braixen, is actually pretty good. Look at it, like this is a good Pokemon design. The same could be said for Delphox and its Mega Evolution. It's literally just the first Pokemon here in this line that sucks. And like, even the concept for Fennekin is bad. The other two have that whole witch thing going on, but Fennekin is literally just a fox. The rest are furry, and the first evolution that should not be named is just an Animally. Let's keep this talk about starters going with the Totodile evolution line. We have the first stage, Totodile. Look at him, pure perfection. He has committed no crime nor sin, and I will be killing God for him. He is our #1 Scaly. Then the second stage, the peak of performance, Absolutely nothing better than this. Leonardo da Vinci weeps and Picasso is about to hang himself. And then the third stage for Alligator. The peak of perfection. Not even God himself could make something as amazing as you. And finally, the Mega Evolution. What's better than perfection? Bigger perfection. I bow down to you and worship you as my new god. Here's where I like to remind you that my list is objective and perfect, and I don't want to hear a single complaint in the comments section. Also, all of them are scalies. The next Pokemon we'll be covering is Buzzwole, who, well, he's suffering from the same issue as Scyther, to be honest, but, those muscles scare me. I feel like he'll punt me to the moon if I put him any lower than Furry. Then we have Alakazam, or Kadabra. I can never tell the two of them apart. They're basically the same Pokemon in my opinion, but whatever. A nice, fairly unique design that's fairly fantastical while also keeping some humanoid aspects, while having some, well, not sure if I'd call whatever's going on with this animal, but it's certainly furry. The next Pokemon the generator gave me was Typhlosion. I genuinely do think this is a top tier design. It takes the inspiration and presents it in a way that feels really fantastical, even outside of the giant fire mane or whatever it has. And Hisuian Typhlosion, I think that's how you say it, is a great Pokemon design too, taking that fundamental design from regular Typhlosion and making it somehow sleeker and creepier. Shame they both had to get Me Too'd in the Pokelore leak, but I will rate them both as furry. The next Pokemon the generator gave me was Claudin, but I'm gonna go ahead and do Chestnut anyways because that's the only form anyone cares about. I'm gonna go ahead and acknowledge this Pokemon as a furry. However, I am also gonna go ahead and say I do not like this design. Maybe if it had the green and brown of its previous evolutions, I'd like it more, but I just don't like this design. Next is Pangoro, and oh, come on, that is not even a Pokemon. That is literally just like a fursuit. No, not even a fursuit, just a mascot costume. Look at it. There's just nothing there. There's nothing to suggest he's fantastical or a monster in any regard. If I saw this on the street, I'd expect them to hand me a flyer for some half-off Chinese place. Come on! And its shiny is somehow even worse. It's not even a fucking panda anymore. It's just brown. What is this? I love Pangoro to death. I have him on my team in ZA, but someone get him out of these games and into a furry convention. That is just a decent fursona. And let's do Koraidon and Miraidon. I'm not sure how Game Freak managed to make the idea for a motorcycle lizard Pokemon work so well, but I fuck with these designs. I fuck with them heavy. Out of the two of them, I think Koraidon is the better looking of the two. They're both going in scaling. The next Pokemon the generator gave me was Banette, which is one of my favorite Pokemon. I do think its design is great, especially its Mega. The problem is that that's definitely not a furry. We're gonna put that in thingy category. How could I have forgotten Riolu and Lucario? What can I say about Lucario that hasn't been said already? They're the #1 furries in this franchise. They're just a furry Goku. They're even in Smash. Oh man, a Pokemon I completely forgot about that I'm sure the comments would flame me for forgetting is Rillaboom. Objectively, its design leans heavily towards Animal-y, but thankfully that animal is a gorilla, so that's the most furry of all animals right there. And I'm not gonna lie, the punk rock leaf hair is definitely helping it. Rillaboom is a firm furry. And speaking of Pokemon the comment section would crucify me for not including, we have Obstagoon. While I do think its design is one of the best Pokemon has to offer, the only thing keeping it out of the fursuit tier is that neck. I think that's where we're gonna have to end things for today. While this video is shorter than I would have liked, I did lose power like halfway through it. Lost like a solid 3 minutes of footage and it pisses me off. And of course, special shout out to my Patreon supporters, McCoyties, Ganlafade, Choran, and Zora Chow, The Moon's Over Midnight. Do be sure to like and subscribe. As always, this is Furry signing out.